window dressing.
Pretty much.
You're, then why do we have y'all for?
The Congress is responsible for basically three things. One is to pass laws. Two is to fund the government and provide the money for it. Three is oversight, which to the extent a criminal statute has been violated, to impeach someone who has committed a high crime or misdemeanor. But under the Constitution, that's our limited power. The executive branch, where say the Justice Department is, that's controlled by the President. The executive branch has the Justice Department with the U.S. attorneys who can file criminal charges against people. We don't have that ability.
Well, with all due respect, the Department of Justice and the U.S. attorneys is nothing but a criminal organization itself.
Well, you know,
it's all partisan. Whoever's in power at the time. I filed complaints with Alice Martin.
I have called
Joyce
for the resignation of the U.S. attorney.
Why?
Why? Because I don't think he's doing his job very well.
Well, won't you call for the resignation of everybody that's involved in this? What's the difference?
I don't know enough about your circumstances.
Well, everything you need. I've contacted you in writing 4 times, certified mail, emails, phone calls. You have not responded one time.
I've not seen any of your material.
Well, you need to talk to your staff, because if it's good enough for the federal civil rules of civil procedure or whatever to be received or whatever, then it'll be good enough. I can't come and sit down and hand this stuff to you.
Have you hired an attorney?
Nobody will touch it. Nobody will touch it because they're either scared of UPS or they're in the tank with UPS. I've gone through every avenue afforded to a private citizen.
What attorneys have you contacted?
I've contacted.
Okay,
I mean, there's a whole list. I'll be glad to provide it, but I don't see how that's going to. I mean, what difference it makes?
Well, here's the difference it makes. First, I don't believe that all of the lawyers in Madison County are intimidated by UPS. I know when I was a lawyer, if I had the opportunity to sue anybody on behalf of anyone, so long as it was a just cause, and I thought they were right, 99% of those potential defendants, I mean, there might be a family member that I wouldn't sue, might be another client of mine. I can't sue my own client because that's a conflict of interest. But 99% of the defendants out there, potential defendants out there, I would represent my client and file that lawsuit. Okay? If it has merit. And if you've had attorneys review this, and those attorneys have told you they don't want to file
it. They say I have a case, but they don't have the money to fight it. This was, when I filed this, it was...
Now, you know, if they win, they get all of their attorney's fees.
Well, that's
and
great.
all their litigation costs reimbursed by the federal government. If they, reimbursed by UPS if they win, because that's part of the law.
They're not going. I understand that.
So if they're right and you're right, then they get 100% of their costs.
When the judge dismissed this, and I followed the advice of somebody to file it. Hopefully that when the judge dismissed it, she will lay out a game plan for me to follow. That's what she did. It's still going on, so what I'm going to do is, when it gets closer to the 2014 election, this is going to be a campaign issue for the 5th District. It is. I feel that you're not doing enough for the middle class of these people, the middle class workers of this. This is a middle class issue. All I hear out of those people in Washington, including yourself, is how the middle class is getting screwed. What?
Well, you do understand that
at least Bud Kramer followed through with a letter.
Bud Kramer is a lawyer. Have you asked?
Are you not a district attorney?
No.
I know you can't represent me. You prosecuted people. What happened?
As a district attorney, I did. And also as an assistant district attorney in Tuscaloosa, I did. That's correct. And I had a 100% conviction rate in front of juries in both Tuscaloosa and in Madison County.
Well, I won't waste...
And I have represented people. I've sued, for example, the Madison County Commission on behalf of sheriff's deputies who felt that they were not being properly compensated, by the way, okay, and other things.
All right.
So but as a congressman, I don't have the authority under law.
You have the authority under the Constitution to provide congressional oversight, do you not?
If I were on the Judiciary Committee, yes, sir, I would. Do you have any other people around the country that are with you on this fight?
If that's the case, there's a letter in here from Senator Sherrod, Patrick Leahy.
Sherrod Brown?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with anything Patrick Leahy's doing, but yet he intervenes in this. This
Wait a minute,
congressional.
Wait a minute, time out. Sherrod Brown has intervened on your behalf?
No. Nancy Pelosi claims congressional courtesy and all this other crap, but whenever it comes up time for somebody or a company that they want to help, they don't mind intervening, whether it's in California, she's going to intervene in New York. It has nothing to do with her constituents, but yet she's going to intervene. Where's the congressional courtesy there?
I don't understand what you're saying. I think it all comes down to the merit of the situation. Mark, do you know who's looked at this stuff in our office?
I can pull up a record of anything that's come in.
You know, if we
This is Mark Pettit, my
if we
chief
had
of staff.
thought it was litigation ongoing, we don't deal with that.
It was
So that
before I
could
filed
be-
the lawsuit.
Yeah, we don't deal with any litigation once it's ongoing, and so I don't know. I'd have to look up on the
I can pull
constituent,
it out.
see what happened with any of it. In terms of you know, if it's like Congressman says, if it's a issue for the courts, and it's an issue.
You know, Darrell Ison, Congressman Ison,
Yeah, he is the chairman of the.
he wrote
Oversight
a
Committee.
congressional oversight manual. A lot of this stuff that I'm talking about is where I got the information from. Maybe that's something y'all need to look into and see if he's actually correct, because if he's not, y'all need to tell him he needs to pull that off and he needs to correct it.
Well, you mentioned Sherrod Brown, you mentioned Nancy Pelosi. Have any of them called for an investigation at the congressional
No.
level, Senator House?
No.
And from the way you've described it, there are thousands of UPS employees who are involved, is that correct?
Yes.
Are there other UPS employees around the country that are talking to
Yes.
their congressmen and senators?
Yes. It's useless, pointless. And the answer to that is all you got to do is follow the money.
Well, but then again, every
Campaign
one of you have
contributions.
the ability to join together. and
Why
file
do
a
we
class
have to
action lawsuit.
resort to suing in either state court or federal court when this problem can be fixed? Matter of fact, Congressman Miller, when all this was going on when I first got involved in it, Congressman Miller was holding hearings on this very thing. Parker Griffith was involved in this, and I got all the emails for you. I got every bit of correspondence for him. He was supposed to be taking care of it, going to testify before the committee and everything. He met with UPS and everything went away.
I mean, even if there is a congressional oversight hearing, all that does is elevate it in a public way.
We're talking about an ethics issue within Congress.
Well, now, that's the first time you've mentioned an ethics issue in Congress. What is the
There's a-
ethics issue?
The ethics issue is y'all won't do your job.
Wait a minute. You know, I'm starting to get offended at the way you're talking.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, quiet now. It's my time to talk.
No,
Congress
it's
does
not your time to talk.
Congress
You
does not-
work for
Congress-
me.
Congress does
You
not
don't
have the-
do your job.
All right, we're finished.
Yeah, we are. I see you out on the campaign trail.
That's fine, but Congress does not have the ability to file lawsuits like
I
this.
didn't say they did.
Well, that's exactly what
How
you're...
about y'all go to
you're
Washington and do
saying we
your
ought to
job for a change? See you.
Take care.
All right.